Okay. Hello, my fellow gamers. Or anybody who is watching, if you're a gamer or not. I do not discriminate. This is the editor. This is the game. You may be curious to find out that I have remade the entire game. Now, was this a very time-efficient decision? Probably not. But I just wanted to remake it, so here we are. And now it's completely different. It has almost nothing in common with the previous game, actually. Except for the assets, which I did just copy and paste this entire directory, so that's pretty cool. Now, I don't think I have any particular secrets hiding in the project layout. I didn't do a thorough check, but it should be fine. It should be good. It should be excellent. And it should be fun. I am also trying out a new situation where if you are watching this live, this doesn't apply if you're watching the pre-recorded version, but you can join my Discord server and join the voice call and talk to me live. Because as fun as this is, I don't have all that much to say. I do have a cup of coffee, which helps, but it doesn't help enough. And I've already had a cup of coffee, so even more reason why it's not as effective as it might be otherwise. But okay, so let me explain a little about what this is. So here is the game. This is the bit that I'm working on here. This bit on the side. My cursor does show up, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. That's no problem. So here's the bit on the side. I'll explain what that is in a second. Basically, you have this whole place. Okay, shouldn't be negative. That's because I left this thing open, and it's been draining my precious void energy for like 2 hours. And so now it's gone down to negatives. However, I can reverse this if I capture these voidlings and I shoot them into the furnace. Well, that wasn't quite enough, but you know, it helps. And the objective is to not let this get to 0. Now, as you can tell, this is in development, and this is way below 0. This is negative 1,400. So, in future, and in theory, let's at least get the income to be positive. That was pretty bad. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so that's the idea. You collect these guys, you bring them over to the furnace, and you get yourself some void energy, because if it gets below 0, this entire environment disappears, and that's no good. And then there's some other things. There's some quests up here for, you know, taking care of specific types of voidlings, levels of voidlings, quantities of voidlings, things like this. And then there's also a shop over here. Now, this is the thing that I'm working on, the voidling zoo, because if you stick them in the furnace, that's cool, but that's not interactive. That's not interactive. It's not fun. It doesn't give me that zest and that lively feeling. You can also hold shift to sprint if you have an upgrade called the Slime of Speed, which I tweeted about. Let's just get a bunch of these guys. If you go further out, you get the higher level ones. And the higher level ones end up giving you more energy. And like I said, I am at negative 1,000 something, so I need quite a bit. So I'm just gonna spend a minute getting these guys, and I swear this is easier than navigating to the folder with my save data and just resetting resetting the number in my save data, because that's a pain. I would have to use the terminal. I'm just gonna do it this way. I have so much time. I can afford to spend perhaps 5 minutes playing the very game which I am working on. Hold on, where is the... Just down this way. There's some coordinates here which help you figure... Oh my god, where was it? Where? X? What? Okay, there we go, jeez. So now I found that. Hopefully that'll help. I have a big list of these guys going up much more quickly. And with any luck, this should get into the good region again. That would be nice. So there we go, and you can see it does that. Okay. So like I said, this is the thing that I'm working on at the moment, is this zoo. So in theory, you could take a voidling. So let me go get one. And this is just one particular cell, if you like. You could take a voidling, you could shoot him into the thing, into the cell, and he would just stay there. And for as long as he stays there, he gets stuck. Or these walls turn solid, and he starts generating energy for you. You get to see details about him, and you get to see a little, you know, blurb of his level and his name. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do right now. So I think I can work out how to do it. I have like half of an idea, almost. So I have this little thing. Is it necessarily worth trying to make this on stream? I just wanted to show what I've been working on. But either way, I've come this far. I may as well. The issue is it requires me to think. And when I think, I'm not speaking. But you know what? That's fine. It'll have to do. I'll just get some stuff done. Or at least I'll try. You never know. Let me have a look. Well, I know for sure I need some collision on this zoo cell, which is what it's named, much like that insect from Dragon Ball. I don't know why I made this its own instance. There's a lot of stuff here which is just generally invisible. I should probably clear that up. And you know what? While I'm on stream, I may just as well do that. What even is this? Oh yeah, I know what that is. I don't need that. I don't need that either. Okay, I should probably rename these things. I should rename a lot of these things. I just sort of stuck them in while I was prototyping. Then I lost the motivation. And I was thinking, you know what would motivate me? Peer pressure. Because once I put this on the internet, I know for sure. I gotta do it. So I'm just kind of clicking back and forth. What is this one correlate to? Should I even stick that in here? Oh. No, I'm not going to mess around with the order of the nodes. I just gotta rename them to something that isn't just void patch, because that's not a very exciting or fun or tantalizing name. It is the default name for this particular 9 patch. Because it's associated with the Greek letter which shows up to identify each cell, I'll just name it Greek, and that would probably suffice. Then there's these. That one is top. That one is bottom. Very nice. Oh boy, I didn't even realize. I do have people in the chat. How are Lee has a smiley face, which is very appreciated. And Mike's says, hola, which is also appreciated. So, let me see. I gotta rename these things as well. Okay, that one is... let's call this one occupied, and this one can be income, and this one can be detail. There we go. So now this is a much more understandable node layout. First time on your stream? Wow, cool. Hello, welcome. I hope you enjoy. I don't stream that much, but I might stream more. I don't know yet. If I get a positive affirmation, that increases my likelihood to stream, my enjoyment of streaming, and my overall quality of life. So I thank you. Okay, so I have renamed these. That isn't... I opened this and I had an idea for what I was gonna do. Collision, oh yeah. Well, I guess I'll leave this. This zoo cell thing is fine. As an instance, I'll just leave it as it is. And then I'll add some... yeah, static body. That would make sense. And a collision shape at the same time. Now, this is gonna have 4 walls. That's the only way I can really do that, because... see, I want the voidlings to get in okay, if, you know, it's open, when if there's not another voidling in there. Oh, hold on. But I don't want them to escape once they're actually in. I don't want them to just be stuck in the collider if I just use the giant rectangle. But that seems fine. I have 4 walls. Very nice. And let's call this walls, so that I am absolutely certain what those are, because otherwise I will forget, I'll delete them or something. It's very important to name your nodes a sensible name. Okay. So this has 2 things. It has the voidling details and it has the Greek letter. Now what would be the best way? Because I could have a separate variable for checking whether something is in, and if there is something in there, I'll set the variable. Or I could just see if this variable here, burnable, is empty, because if it's empty, I know for sure there's nothing in there. And then I'll just set it and empty it as I add or remove the voidling. That seems sensible. So I'm gonna have to add, I'm just gonna add the thing in process. It'll be fine. I'll work it out. So I have to do it this way because for some reason, when I was just comparing it to the empty dictionary like this, it didn't work. I don't know if that's intended behavior. Maybe I did something wrong. Oops. But this works. It works here, it works here. So if there is even a single key in this dictionary, then I know these walls should be enabled. So that should be easy enough. Just get the walls. And for every wall, it's not disabled. And then likewise, like this. Now I am aware I could probably do this with some fancy, like, only do this loop when you set the thing. That would be quite sensible, wouldn't it? Why am I not doing that? Damn, why am I not doing that? Huh. Because I am going to need to have some function to set and forget this anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna have to just do it like that. So this is a good first pass, and then I'll, yeah, okay. So I'll add the getter and setter stuff. That'll help. So okay. Then I will just take all this and I'll do that. So if you set it, okay, very cool. And then likewise if you remove the, there we go, it can only hold one at a time, so I could even set that to null, but I just don't want it to crash. I guess there's no reason to set it to null. If I could just set it to an empty dictionary. I wonder, is there any reason why it would be better either way? No. No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I'm doing this kind of thing, so if I'm checking the number of keys. Okay. Okay, very cool. So, in addition to that, by default, these things should all be disabled. And then when it gets set for the first time, they become not disabled. I don't know why it's got the disabled property and it's not enabled by default. I don't like that, but anyway, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I'm going to fork the go.engine just so I can change that one thing. No, I'm not doing that. But what I am doing is I'm adding an area 2D in fact, with its own collision shape, which just goes inside here. Okay. And now this thing, when a body enters, then it checks, is this a voidling? Very nice. And if it is a voidling, you gotta capture that voidling, which seems easy enough. So for now, in future, or very soon actually, I'm going to create a node, kind of like a tracking chip in a sense, which is what I've been calling it in my head, which I'll just attach to the voidling, and that'll give all the extra functionality, so like connecting signals and stuff that happens if you hover your mouse cursor over it, and that'll be a bit easier, because that means I can literally use the exact same voidling entity without having to really change anything about it that might break it in other places. So I think it should work. I'll give it a go. So for now, all I need to do is set this whatchamacallit, I hope that's what it's called, burnable. Is it the same in here? Yes, it is. Fantastic. So these are the voidling internals, which get passed to the zoo registry entry. So I think what should happen now is that I'll be able to, there we go, put something in, and when I shoot it in, it'll lock these walls. Why didn't that happen? What? I suspect I may have gotten the name of the group wrong. So is that? Oh no, I didn't. Voidlings set burnable. That's odd. Was there an error? Oh, yes. Another thing. You can't set this directly outside of physics process, I think. So I have to use set deferred. I have to do it that way instead. Which, to be honest, is not that bad, but it is something to be aware of. So let me just, there we go, disabled by default. Let's get this guy. Hey, perfect. Look at that. And in future, yeah, he's running around. He doesn't look too happy in that tiny enclosure, I gotta say. He's running all over the place. In future, I'll have some visual feedback for this being occupied, and for there being somebody in there. That won't be too hard. And then, you know, it'll get them in here. And that seems kind of cool. That seems kind of cool. Man, he is going crazy though. Now another thing is that I can still vacuum this guy up. And if I do that, I can't get him back in. So what I'm going to do, like I said, with that kind of tracking chip thing, I'm going to have it emit an extra signal when this guy gets sucked up, which should be absolutely reasonable and possible. The stream sounds oddly soothing. That's good to know. Game development is one of the most stressful, horrible tasks in the world. It's the hardest job in the world, and it's the worst thing you can do. So I'm glad it has the appearance of being soothing. That was a joke, by the way. I actually do quite enjoy it. But I have been working on this quite a lot. Basically this whole game has come about in the last like 7 days. And that's really very fast. I mean, at least for me. See, I like adding about 2 lines of code a day. If I had an infinite lifespan, and I didn't have to do anything else with my time, I would be very happy. God damn it. To just do a tiny amount a day. Because that means you get like 23 hours and 59 minutes every day to just kind of get your head around you know, the direction your game's going, if you like what you've done, if you don't like it, you know, what interesting things you could do, what doors you want to leave open and which you don't, and that's very valuable. But if you're working on it very fast, and if you're drinking a lot of coffee, it becomes less relaxing by quite a bit. So I have this zoo chip, which is what I described. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get one of these things. One of these zoo chips. If I can remember where I saved it. Oh yeah, just an entities. I guess it is an entity of sorts. There we go. And I'm gonna get this body, and I'm gonna add a zoo chip. Now at this point I should also connect up some signals. And this zoo chip will disappear when this voidling gets destroyed. So when it gets sucked up and it gets Q-freed or whatever, then this chip will also be destroyed with it. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Just as long as this guy has a chance to do his job. Which is, actually, I don't even think I need to do it for that one, because this already emits a signal. But one signal isn't good enough. I want everything to come from this guy, so what should we call it? I don't know. Let's call it destroyed. So now we have this nice function which emits the signal destroyed. And that's cool. So all we have to do is, in this thing, we can just directly connect it to this function. And that seems like it would work. So let me test this out. Okay, no collision, very good. There is collision. No collision. Now, what about if we have a second one? Nope, he can't get in. But that one can. Fantastic. Wait a second, that wasn't what was meant to happen. What the hell is even going on? These guys are moving through the walls. What? Well, now nothing can get in. Oh, what? Sorry, what? Is this not getting actually destroyed? That doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I think if he leaves, he still has the chip attached. But then if I suck up this one, it also releases that. Now that doesn't happen if I just suck up a random guy. It has to be one. What? Uh-oh. What? There we go, so he goes in. Let me just try pulling one gently. There we go, that one cannot get in. But I sucked this one up, who must have had a chip. But now that one does no longer have a chip. No longer. This one I'm pretty sure still does, except now it doesn't. There we go. Now both of these, because it's making the object anew. It's a whole new voidling instance whenever I spawn one. So this thing is free, no problems. I can shove him in, that's good. Activate the collision. Suck this guy up, good, collision. Throw somebody else at it. Ah, you know what's happening? I can spawn it over the wall. And when it gets spawned over the wall, you can actually have multiple. Okay. That's strange. How am I gonna fix that? Well, there's a few ways I could go about it. There's the really easy way, which is just to destroy any voidlings that enter that area, if there's already another voidling present. I think that's the most straightforward thing, because I do not want to have to track more than one. I mean, there's only one of these. So only one of these guys is actually being tracked. And also, this is too small. That's inhumane. There we go. So I got one in the hole. All three of them jumped out. Oof. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, get in the furnace. There we go. Okay. I think the easiest thing to do is just to check if this is empty. And if it's not, just add it to the furnace or destroy it or something. It would be kind of funny to have this like glitch out if you have more than one. But I mean, do I actually want to have to add that? Whew, maybe. I mean, would it be that hard? Just check. But then you still have this issue with these zoo chips allowing for desynchronous stuff. What I should do anyway is check body exited. And then I'll just, is it in the thing? If it is, and it just walks out, then remove the zoo chip from this guy. So, how do I, hold on. GD script has node, something like that. Can I check has node? Yeah, has node maybe works. So if body dot has node zoo chip get node zoo chip dot q free. So that should remove the chip, and that might be good enough. Okay, here's that bit. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get this guy over the wall now. There we go. So now if I only take this one, okay, that's fine. And I put him back in. If I... Guy just walked into the furnace. What are you doing? Let's try that again with this one. Okay, so if I only take this one, this guy can walk free. Stick him back in. If I pick this guy up, okay. So you know what? That's an acceptable solution. That is a perfectly acceptable solution. What I would like to do is have maybe the text go red, or there to be some kind of alarm when, if you have more than one, basically. So just check. So if it is already more than one, print alarm. Okay. So let me just see. So I can see the log. Oof. My resolution scaling hurts my eyes. There we go. That's that one. Now if I add a second one, very perfect. It works. Okay. Very nice. And there's that. And there's that. Okay. Perfect. So it'll just jam the zoo. Pretty much just that. Red text, etc. Okay. That's not too bad. So, in a very basic form, this works. In a very basic form, it does work. So once we have this, once we have that, we can then set some of this text. Okay. Now first of all, it does not generate anything ever because I haven't set it up. This I can change in principle. But you know what? I might do that off stream. I have successfully broken through my creative block on this little contraption up here. But I'm going to do some visual effects. I'm going to do some style choices. I'm going to do some trial and error. Experimentation. Attempts. So I am going to leave. And hopefully I will live stream again now that I have a excellent video game to be working on. So that's that. Thank you for watching. If you did watch this far, goodbye.